They laughed. That's what cut the deepest. We were at the dinner table when Mom brushed it off with a chuckle. "Don't worry, sweetheart. Your sister's just staying at your apartment a little while." Dad grinned like it was nothing. That's when I stood, calm, and I said the line I'd been rehearsing in silence for 6 weeks. "Funny, I haven't lived there for a while." The clatter of silverware stopped. Mom's voice cracked. "Wait, then where exactly have you been staying?" And that's when the masks began to slip. Back then, I trusted her, my sister. We weren't just siblings, we were each other's refuge. We grew up fighting the same battles under the same roof. When life broke me, she was my shelter. When I got my first apartment, I gave her a key. "Just in case," I said. And she used it. At first, for small things, dropping by, crashing on the couch after late nights. I didn't mind. That's what family does. But love makes you blind, and trust makes you vulnerable. The signs were small at first. Clothes shifted. My liquor bottles lower than I left them. Bills arriving late, though I'd set reminders. My landlord mentioning my girlfriend paying rent in cash. I didn't have a girlfriend. Then came the text meant for her boyfriend, accidentally sent to me. One line that changed everything. "He doesn't suspect a thing. I've been living here full time." Living in my place, while I was working double shifts and sleeping at a friend's spare room to save. She'd stolen my home, my safety, my trust. And my parents knew. I didn't explode. I didn't storm over and kick her out. That's what she expected. That's what they all expected. Instead, I planned. I quietly transferred the lease into my name only. No cosigner, no back door. Then I paid ahead, 3 months in full, proof of my stability. Meanwhile, I stopped visiting altogether. Let her believe she'd won. Let her brag to my parents that she was managing things for me. All while I was documenting. Every lie, every late bill, every landlord message. I wasn't losing a home. I was building a case. And tonight, around that dinner table, I laid the trap. Mom laughed, covering her nerves with forced lightness. Dad cleared his throat, stalling. My sister froze, eyes darting. She knew what was coming. "I've been staying elsewhere," I said, calm as a surgeon. Dad leaned forward. "Where?" "In a place that's mine, fully mine." I let the words hang. "Because the apartment you've been playing house in, the lease isn't yours. The bills aren't yours. The key isn't yours." My sister's face drained. Her fork slipped. I slid a folder across the table, just like a lawyer in court. Inside, the signed lease, the proof of payment, the landlord's written statement that I was the only tenant of record. "Wait," Mom whispered, "you mean all this time?" "Yes," I cut in, "all this time she's been squatting in my life, and you've been helping her." My sister tried to speak, something about how family shares and I thought you wouldn't mind, but her voice shook. She knew the walls were closing in. I leaned in, eyes locked on hers. "You didn't just take my place, you tried to erase me from it. And you let them laugh at me while you did it." Silence, heavy, final. The fallout was quick. The next day, I walked into the apartment with the landlord at my side. My sister's things were boxed, stacked at the curb. Locks changed before dusk. Her tears, her begging, it all fell flat against the sound of the key turning in my door, my lock, my life returned. My parents called, angry at first, accusing me of cruelty. But I didn't flinch. I reminded them whose name was on the lease, whose bills were paid, whose life had been stolen. Eventually, the calls slowed. Their silence said enough. They knew they'd chosen the wrong child to protect. Now I sit in the quiet of my own place again. Every corner feels like justice. every lock, security. Do I miss my sister? The girl she used to be? Sometimes. But betrayal doesn't fade. It brands you. What I feel now isn't sadness, it's clarity. She thought she was clever, that she could slip into my life, wear it like a borrowed coat, and I'd never notice. But betrayal leaves fingerprints, and I collected every one. That night at the dinner table, when Mom's voice cracked and Dad looked away, I realized something. I wasn't the victim. I was the reckoning. And the best revenge wasn't rage. It was standing tall, calm, untouchable, while they finally understood exactly what they'd lost. My home, my trust, me.